responsibility.
Finishing this fight.
Welcome everybody into the Lore Council. This is Cade, and I am joined by Keith.
Hello.
Dewanawanga.
Dokara whoopee whoopee.
As evidenced by the Huttese and the title of this video, we are here today to talk about the first 3 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. We figured that it'd be a bit more fun to structure it this way. We can do the first 3 videos now, next 3 episodes as they come out, and then do a big one wrapping up the 7th episode and the whole first season altogether. So,
Yep, and we're still relevant. Episode 4 has not come out yet.
episode 4 has not come out. Yeah, if you haven't seen the Spider-Man review, we finally are going to hopefully again be able to repeat our string of regular content last year now that our days off overlap a bit more. So, how has your overall impression of the Book of Bob A. Fett been?
Yeah, overall, like, really good, really enjoyable. I love Star Wars, so,
yes.
a show like this, Boba and Jango Fett were my original favorite Star Wars characters that I was obsessed with when I was a kid, so it's like this show was made for me,
Nice.
you know?
How come Boba and Jango over like Luke or Obi-Wan or Anakin or like the main characters, I guess?
Yeah, it was just one of those like kid things. I just thought they looked really cool, and
Sure.
the main thing that got me into it was the young Boba Fett novels. It just like enriched the character that much more, and comics and other books and stuff like that. But the main thing was that first Boba Fett Fight to Survive book.
Nice. Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I definitely growing up I never had a super huge impression of Boba Fett. Obviously, he's in the second and third of the original trilogy movies where he does basically nothing except sound really, really cool with his original voice. And then, accidentally get knocked into the Sarlacc pit by a blind Han Solo. Boba Fett? Where?
And then in the special edition of it, they added a burping sound effect afterwards.
Oh, yes. How about we forget that happened? They also added a beak to the Sarlacc that ate Boba Fett, so that was very necessary.
Unfortunately, most people are only familiar with the Tamara Morrison version of Boba Fett, thanks again to the special edition, which I'm actually fine with, since it gives great continuity to the entire series, having him do the voice in it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that now.
It does, but I'm sorry, the original version sounds so much cooler.
Yeah. After watching it with the original voice, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Give me that.
It's not
Give me that sweet, sweet New Zealand honey there.
Yeah. I wish I could remember what Tamara Morrison says. He's in some interview. He's like, I won't even try and do it, but yeah, he's going on about the Polynesian spa. It's really, really good. Tamara Morrison I will say, he's a very, very charming human being.
Yeah, I don't know much of him outside of the Star Wars movies. They show him a little bit in like the special feature footage for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
there's like a scene of him like dancing with an umbrella a little bit. That's about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I will say he looks way better with hair. As Jango, he looked way cooler sans helmet than Boba does. But obviously, Tamora Morrison is a older man, and as a man who is approaching 30, I can say hair do be disappearing. So.
Now, well, speak for yourself there, friend.
Yeah, I speak for him there. What I have in facial hair, I am starting to begin to lack in head hair. So, very unfortunate and a very, very interesting side tangent. But yeah, Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. I grew up with Boba Fett being a really convoluted character. His kind of original origin and everything in Legends was a little bit convoluted, until we got all of the retcons post Attack of the Clones that explained who he is. Dark Empire 2, I believe, is they literally just hand wave away how he escaped from the Sarlacc, and that's the first thing I ever knew.
I think they bring it up in the first Dark Empire. The Sarlacc found me quite indigestible.
No, that's in Dark Empire 2.
Oh, I thought it was. But don't they ambush in the first one?
Oh, maybe it is.
Pretty sure it's the first one. Boba Fett and like 3 other bounty hunters show up, I think, including Dengar, I think, show up and ambush Solo, and he's like, "Yes, the Sarlacc found me quite indigestible."
Yeah, my big thing with that is from that very recently, within the last couple of years, I have watched and rewatched, or listened to rather, the
Dark Empire radio plays.
Yeah, and he sounds like a robot.
Yeah.
The Sarlacc found me quite indigestible, Solo.
Yeah, I do like his robot voice in that though.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and yeah, they had the whole thing where originally his name was Jaster Mariel, and he was an ex-stormtrooper, and blah blah blah. And obviously that has very, very since been retconned and fixed because we found it in Attack of the Clones. He's a clone of Jango.
I pretty much grew up with the retcon version of Jango Fett.
Yeah,
they did the Jango Fett All Seasons comic.
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
It's really cool. I think him being a clone is totally fine. The way Mandalorians are, like with adopting people into their ranks, it's totally fine. He is like essentially he's basically his. Well, he
literally is his father.
He is his. That I hope
he is his father, and he's also his father's son.
I hope somewhere there's a really weird like play of that with like the Luke and Vader scene. You know, Boba, I am my father, to Jango. I think that'd be. If that hasn't been like referenced in like a comic book, I hope they do someday, and just give me a writing credit. Just give me like $50. But yeah,
definitely some comedy potential there. But
I think,
sure.
Definite comedy potential in this series, and I suppose we should probably start after this little brief introduction of our history with the character of Boba Fett.
It is necessary though, because this show is going to differentiate Boba Fett from the previous versions we've had. We've had Jaster Mariel Boba Fett. We've had retconned Boba Fett, son of Jango Fett, which is basically the approved Legends version of Boba Fett, and also the canon version, or it was canon, and it's still also canon in Disney. But now for this show, we're basically seeing the Disney-fied canon version of Boba Fett, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's them, essentially, obviously, as a Legends fan, I totally understand. I go into things, I don't expect them to be, like, Legends or anything, so it was interesting to see this take on Boba Fett. I like it. I don't think it, like, really conflicts with anything. Like, I've seen people complaining that, oh, Boba Fett, he's not, like, a total badass bounty hunter, and, well, blah, blah, blah.
But Boba Fett just doesn't, like, immediately shoot people when they disagree with him.
I like this. I like this portrayal of Boba Fett. I think it works really good. Like, he's serious when he has to be, but, he's not
a robot. He has, like, a sense of humor.
Yeah, he has a sense of humor. He has, like, that kind of, like, sense of honor.
Like a dry humor.
Yeah, it's very nice in that I can relate to that. I've been told at work way too many times that I just have a really dry sense of humor, so yeah, I'm basically just Boba Fett, essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, so jumping right into Chapter 1, we basically just have that Boba Fett escapes from the Sarlacc. There's not really much there that besides the fact that he escapes. There's no real, like, I don't think
just
explanation
jumps right into it.
Yeah. Which I guess
I really like that whole scene. It was like, scary and claustrophobic. He's got to like claw his way out.
Yeah, I did not like the inside of the Sarlacc. I have claustrophobia. It's
the freaking stormtrooper it was in there.
Yeah, no, not my thing. It was very, very effective right from the beginning, and it's in a flashback sequence as Boba is in a I must say Kolto, a Bacta tank. My KOTOR is showing.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, but he's in a.
Yeah, I would have I probably would have. The fan in me would have preferred his Legends escape, where he like basically jetpacks and like flames his way out of the Sarlacc.
The Sarlacc found me quite indigestible, Solo.
Hard to digest something when you're flame throwing the inside of it.
Yeah, and that makes more sense. But at the same time, I kind of like that, kind of raw, like visceral, like he just like literally claws his way out. We were just talking about it earlier off the discussion, but Have you seen the Parks and Recreations episode where Patton Oswalt's character is like going over his
his plan for episode 7,
and it like goes
you see
right
the
along.
hand of Boba Fett come out of the Sarlacc. Yeah,
and it's perfect. I saw a video of them like side by side. It turns out that Patton Oswalt helped to write that first episode.
You're kidding.
Yeah, he's in the credits.
You're kidding me.
Wow. I just find that amazing. I love Patton Oswalt, so
wow.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Just like fun little thing. Like it's, I guess, almost an Easter egg. Like if you're a Parks and Recreations fan, so it's really cool. So, but yeah, and from there he's left for dead by Jawas, who steal his armor because that's what Jawas do.
Yeah, and we basically just get pretty quickly like an explanation for what happened and how he gets to the Mando. Not really, but you see where it leads to. The Jawas steal his armor, which leads to that other guy buying the armor off of them.
Yeah,
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boba's basically left for dead, and I love that he's wearing pretty much throughout the whole flashbacks sequence. He's wearing his original jumpsuit for his armor and his boots.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's literally everything that he wears in Empire and Return of the Jedi, just sans like the breastplate and obviously the helmet and everything. So
the armor and
it's
knee pads and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's literally just like
they left him his shoes.
They should have taken his shoes, man. Those could have been J's.
They do have spikes on them.
True, very true. But yeah, so Boba is left dripless and destitute in the desert, without a shred of swag to his name.
Not even barely any swag.
No swag.
Yeah. So what happens next? Like the Tuskens find him and like
basically
tie him up.
We don't have to go like
there.
chronologically or anything in how the episode presents it, but yeah, essentially in flashback, he's taken by the Tuskens and he lives amongst them, and he tries to escape one time, and he's basically beaten into submission, and he's brought back. And then
I really liked the flashbacks scenes. So cool.
I really liked it.
The Tusken dogs, I'm not sure what they're called. I'm not sure if they're from Legends. I feel like they had different dogs in Legends.
They were originally... It's the same design, basically, as Attack the Clones.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what they're called, but they look really good. Like for TV show, it looks like movie quality. So, props there. The Rodian looked pretty good. The Red Rodian.
Oh yeah,
Red Rodian.
I really like that. I like seeing Rodians. They're obviously one of like the iconic Star Wars aliens, so seeing them show up is always really cool. And I like that he does not speak Basic. He only speaks Huttese at Boba if they ever speak.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I don't believe he speaks Basic. I haven't seen the episode since it came out though last month. So, but yeah, it works really really fun. And basically we get his first escape attempt, and then he basically gets brought along on a scouting mission, essentially, him and the Rodian, and then on the way back they fight a...
Well, it's not really a scouting mission. They're like out digging for those black melons.
Oh yeah, the black melons, yeah. And then they encounter a thing in the sand. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's like a deep cut from like a Legends book or something.
Yeah, like Ori design or something.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like something like some kind of scary ass freaking Tatooine monster for sure.
I thought it looked really dumb. I thought it looked like it was like from Star Trek, the original series.
Oh, I thought it was terrifying. So creepy with this like it stands up and it's got these giant arms. Really scary, and it just looked good. Like I liked the effects.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but seeing Boba Fett kill it the way he killed it, it's very generic way to take down the big monster by like choking it out with his own chain.
I thought it was badass.
It was cool, but like I just thought the design of the monster.
I thought it was funny when Boba was kind of like arguing with the Rodian while they're digging.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Like Tamora Morrison, like I said earlier, he's a really charming guy, and that definitely shows. He knows how to play the character, and I appreciate that Boba isn't just like a hard ass. Yeah.
He's got feelings and stuff.
Yeah, he has feelings. He's a human being. He obviously is not a robot. So.
Yeah, so he kills the monster, which basically before that he was a prisoner. Now he kills the monster. He's now accepted among the Tuskens. I really So we're kind of just skipping all like the modern day Boba stuff, but nah.
Yeah, we'll get to
I
it.
like the Tusken stuff the best.
Yeah, Tusken stuff definitely, and then at the end,
The ending of the episode is so perfect because like he's just standing there and like this whole time he hasn't been able to drink. You know, like he tried drinking
Yep,
one of the
and-
black melons and the little kid was like, "Ugh," and then the guy just hands it to him
Yeah, and
without looking at him.
yeah, and I remember like earlier in the episode they like dump out water like right in front of him.
Yeah.
To like taunt him, which
And like the last part of the episode is him like drinking the black melon and he just goes, ah, and episode's over.
yeah, really good, really good. As far as like the modern Tatooine stuff, it was fine. Like it was cool. Boba looks cool sitting in like Jabba's throne.
Yeah, basically we just kind of come into Boba. He's, you know, chilling at Jabba's palace. He's kind of setting things up. He's called the Daimyo. I'm not sure what that is.
Daimyo.
Whatever. He's like, I guess he has Jabba's old job or Bib Fortuna's old job. He's like the gangster of the town or whatever. But
Yeah, he's the mob boss of like the Tatooine. So
yeah, and he's got to start doing like mob boss stuff, collecting tribute and all that.
yeah, and he gets tribute from everyone. There's a cool Trandoshan that looked super dope.
I must have missed that.
No,
I think one of my favorite characters was the Twi'lek dude.
Yeah, the major domo for the mayor. Yeah, he's funny. I like him.
Yeah, fair, definitely. Just well written and well acted there.
Yeah, he's really like he's like comical, but not in a intentional way.
Yeah, and the dialogue was written in a way that it was like he was kind of saying one thing but while saying another. You know?
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if you receive another delegation. He just walks out.
Oh yeah, it's really good. He's like typical like it's like mob boss stuff, like mob movie stuff. I like him. I think the Twi'leks in this look better than they have in any other live action thing too.
And better than the Mando, yeah, because they don't have the giant head thing.
Yeah, I think that they definitely nailed down like how to make the Twi'leks look. So
yeah, it looks like they really nailed the props department. I guess they got bigger budget for that or something.
Yeah, and then basically from there,
I guess that would be makeup, not the props.
Yeah, so then Boba and Fennec go to a cantina in Mos Espa, and they offer tribute. And then outside, they're ambushed by
Sanctuary.
Yeah, the Sanctuary. And
well, what did you think of it? At first I thought it was a little too clean and shiny looking, but I got over it.
I think it's fine because like obviously the cantina from like A New Hope, it looks dingy and crappy. It's like a dive bar, like everyone's been inside one, and then the Sanctuary, it's like a clean, like upscale, like nice downtown place where like
gambling establishment.
Yeah, you'd like bring a date to, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that. It's like a nice thing where like Star Wars, it's kind of like the whole thing is like it's a lived-in world, but it's kind of nice that like just like in real life there's like really like high-end like establishments, and then there's like the dive bar around the corner that you and all your friends avoid because you'll like get stabbed out in the back or something.
Right. Yeah, that's basically it's basically Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's Mos Eisley Cantina, and then there's like the Sanctuary, like.
But in the show it's Mos Espa, right?
Or Mos Espa, yeah. Basically, just
Mos Espa is closest to Jabba's palace, which I don't think we ever established that before.
Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. They just didn't want to retread on Mos Eisley.
Like we see Jabba in Mos Espa.
Or Mos Eisley.
That's fine. Whatever. Well, no, I meant in Phantom Menace, but.
Oh yeah.
Not the point.
Okay. But yeah, from there they.
What did you think of the lady who was in charge? I liked her like Twi'lek skin tone thing.
Yeah, it looked really cool. Again, kind of.
Because we've seen that before.
The Twi'lek design, it's really good. The props are like super good. The Leku aren't like giant. I liked her.
Not too stiff.
Yeah, like it looked like good.
Really good job.
And yeah, it was really good.
Oh, I liked that the waiters were just regular astromech droids, like with the little drinks, just like R2 had.
Yeah, R2 in Return of the Jedi. That was a fun little callback. I like that. But yeah, and then from there, they kind of Boba gets his tribute and everything, and then outside he's ambushed by. I
can't remember what the Silent Wind.
Silent Wind, yeah. I just
who came up with that name?
So the thing with them is, and I don't know if you noticed this, but it was pointed out to me by one of my buddies. All of those people are like very obviously wearing like real world like masks, because obviously this is being filmed during like the pandemic, so like they're taking. It's cool that they're taking precautions, but it's very obvious that they were wearing like masks that like I could buy at like Target. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't notice that. I just thought they
Oh.
were wearing ninja outfits.
I don't remember what other
Outfits
show.
could have been designed better. I'm guessing they kind of skimped on those just to save budget elsewhere.
Oh yeah, for sure, and it looked fine. I like how I thought it was kind of goofy how Boba didn't use his flamethrower, didn't use his jetpack or anything, and he lets himself get surrounded.
And it's kind of funny with the way it's directed. You see like this circle of shields surrounding him, and him in the middle with his jetpack on, and it's like there's nothing on top of him.
Yeah,
so he can just fly out.
Yeah, maybe he forgot to put gas in it that morning.
They have not. His because I think the jetpack's still. I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't work.
I don't know why it wouldn't work. I guess Han hit it with the axe and Return of the Jedi. Maybe it just doesn't work.
Have they showed it? They've only showed the rocket working, not the jetpack.
Yeah, but not the jet. Maybe the jetpack just doesn't work.
Why the hell is he wearing it?
Because it looks cool.
True, but it is heavy. So they have a fight with laser shields. I'm fine with that. That's,
it was cool. It gives. I think it also.
It didn't look the best. It looked kind of cheesy, but
yeah, it's fine. It gives Fennec a moment to shine. Fennec's cool as always. Like she gets to track down some of them, and they end up taking one of them hostage.
Boba just blows a guy to like smithereens with his wrist rocket.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason. He just blows one guy up, and then he's like to Fennec, "Alive! Why'd you blow up the one guy?" Just completely blew him up.
Yeah.
It was a good shot, though. It was good.
Yeah, it was really cool. And yeah, Fennec, she gets to shine, and she captures one of the assassins. You get a cool like rooftop chase scene. Those are always fun, like no matter what medium they're in.
The way she captures the guy is kind of weird, though. Like she captures one guy and then holds him at like gunpoint or whatever, and then there's a second guy just standing right there, and he just like, whoa, hey, whoa. He just drops his weapons for no reason.
Yeah,
Then Fennec like throws the guy that she's holding off the roof and then takes the other guy hostage. And I was like, there were so many moments there where the dude could have just ran away.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But they capture the dude. We get interrogation scene.
No, that's the next episode.
Or is that that's the next episode?
Yeah, because the episode ends with Boba getting the melon.
Right.
But yeah, we have the flashback scenes because the Boba's thick ass. Oh god, what are they called? The Gamorreans. They bring him back to the palace, and he gets put back in the back to tank.
Oh yeah, I liked the Gamorreans. The Gamorrean guards looked good.
Yeah, they looked good. I don't know why they have to be shirtless.
So they can look cool.
I guess, yeah, you got to show off those six-pack abs.
They both have like beer bellies.
Oh yeah, but they're like bodybuilders. How like bodybuilders like they look kind of like fat, but obviously
The roid gut.
Yeah, the roid belly. Yeah. But yeah, and then yeah, we obviously have covered. We didn't go in chronological order here, the way the episode's presented, but yeah.
The episode isn't presented in chronological order.
No, it's not. It's flashback, modern day flashback. But yeah, episode 1, I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed watching it. And it led into episode 2, which I also enjoyed. So first 2 episodes, really, really good.
Yeah. The first time I watched the first episode, I thought it was kind of, like I just kind of wanted a bit more, but it wasn't terrible. And after rewatching it, I'm like, that's a really good first episode, actually.
Yeah, and I've seen people like overly nitpick like the part where like Boba is ambushed, but it's like it's a
TV show. Like
it's a TV show. It's
you gotta turn
like,
your brain off at some point.
Yeah,
just let the action happen.
Yeah, that kind of stuff it happens in Star Wars like a million times. Like you can point at any scene like featuring Jedi and be like, well, why didn't they just use the Force? Well, why didn't Boba just use his backpack? Like it's the same thing. Like, yeah, watch the cool action scene. But yeah, episode 1.
So, and the way the flashbacks are being shown is basically, Boba has to like be in a back to tank every night, I guess, while he sleeps, because he has burns and stuff.
Yeah,
on him.
Like Sarlacc poisoning, basically.
Sure. So he has dreams while he's in the tank, and he'll have like flashbacks to Camino, which are really cool, and then he has, of course, flashbacks to the Tuskens, and yeah,
it's really
episode 2, which was much longer than the first episode, which I think was like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, 30-ish minutes.
Episode was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was really fun. I really liked this episode. And it basically, do you just want to do the same thing? We can do flashbacks and then modern day?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the flashbacks in this, I think, were super, super cool. We basically, the long or the short of it is, Boba, like, becomes accepted by the Tuskens.
Yeah, really good stuff. Like all of it. We get to see like him training and just learning their ways.
Yeah, like how they survive in the desert, and then like out of the blue, they basically start getting like shot at by like a Pike Syndicate spice train.
Yeah. The thing is just like randomly passing them by, and it like just shoots a bunch of them, I guess. And Boba's like, no.
No. So
Not gonna
yeah,
happen.
they end up getting some speeder bikes from a nearby Nikto gang, which I really like. Nikto are one of my favorite Star Wars species.
Yeah. That was a great fight scene. That was
Yeah.
in Tashi Station.
Yes, which was obviously a super big, I was gonna go to Tashi Station and get some power converters.
Yeah, and they used an actual recreation of the set from the deleted scene in New Hope. It had like actors that looked like the characters.
Yeah, it was like two people. I don't remember their names, but yeah, I remember seeing that like on I think on Instagram like the next day. Like those two people were from the deleted scene. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
It's just a great brutal fight.
Yeah, it was really fun, really cool.
I like the end of the fight where Boba just gets like a drink off the counter and just drinks it and goes ah. And he just walks out. And bartender just like nods a little bit and just starts cleaning shit up.
Sorry about the mess.
Sorry, he just flips some coin.
I kind of would have preferred that if he did that and just like call back to like the OT. I think that would have been cool. But I like Boba Fett. Just
That would have been cool, yeah. But him just sipping and going ah.
Yeah, I like that. That's his thing. Like that's his thing. He just like takes a sip. Ah.
He's a thirsty boy now.
Well, I mean, after you like kick a bunch of people's ass, you're probably gonna be thirsty.
Very good point.
But yeah, no, that was really cool. And then we get some. It gotta have a montage. And we get a montage of Boba Fett teaching, because he decides he wants to like take out the train, and so he teaches the Tuskens how to ride a speeder bike, which is
gotta ride it like a bantha.
Ride it like a bantha.
That was funny.
I like it. Like it again. Like Boba Fett should have like a sense of humor. Like he was. Like and that's the thing is like he's getting characterization that he never got in the OT, because in the OT he was there to look badass and say like 5 lines.
Yeah, the Tuskens with Boba is definitely just a really good combination, because it gives Boba something to work off of, and it works really well because they're like these faceless people that don't have any expressions and stuff, and they speak in squawks and all this crap, and Boba is the man alone, right? Yeah. And so can't just have him be he's I guess there's this like saying, a man is whatever room he's currently in, right? So when Boba is with the Tuskens, it changes him.
Yeah,
he learns new things.
Yeah, and I like that he treats them like with respect, because like obviously they saved his life. They're not like the brutes that like everybody just says they are. Like they have a society, they have their own civilization. It's really cool to see. Like, and I like humanizing the Tuskens. I think this and like KOTOR did like a super good job of like humanizing them and like making them not just be like, the bad guys from A New Hope and the people that took pot shots at Anakin while he was pod racing.
Right. Yeah. Those guys are probably like some drunk teenagers camped out on the Dune turn. The Dune Sea. I like that whole sequence. What did you think about? Because like, I think aren't Tuskens supposed to like not like technology or something like that? Like in Legends, would they ride a speeder bike or?
I think they would probably if they had the opportunity. In KOTOR, they obviously have like defense turrets like set up, that those are obviously technology and stuff. So I think it's one of those things, as long as they could fix it themselves, they probably don't have a problem using it.
Yeah, they do use like rifles. But that whole scene was really just fun. Just fun.
It was a montage.
Boba teaching them how to do speeder bikes and how to like jump off a speeder bike to get onto the train and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that part. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay. They're doing like the whole Star Wars as a play on Western things. Because like, how many Westerns have you seen where somebody like is riding on the back of a horse and then they jump off onto the train? I'm like, oh, cool. So they're paying homage to that. That's fun.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm definitely not sick of that yet. Even after the Mandalorian, definitely for Star Wars being a space western.
Yeah, it's really fun. That's obviously what it was meant to be. And I think this and obviously like The Mandalorian have done like, some of the best jobs of like showing that George Lucas was hugely influenced by westerns.
And
from here,
Tuscans are basically Indians, and they gotta rob a train.
And it's fun. It's a fun sequence. I mean, to jump forward to like the train sequence, I thought it was really fun. It was a little cliche. Like, you have all the things that you're gonna have when you're like doing a train heist, but I liked it. It was fun.
Yep, you got people fighting on top of the train, inside the train,
on the side of the train. I like when the one Tusken, the one that's like BFFs with Boba, like with the black robes and stuff, like just goes inside and just like wrecks shit.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It was fun. It was a good scene, and they end up like stopping the train, and then they steal all
the train had this really cool droid train conductor.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I really liked when like he like knows like all is lost and he just jumps out a window.
And he had this funny little theme that was like.
Oh.
It was kind of like a tinny version of the Dark Troopers theme, sort of.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't notice that, but yeah, if I rewatch it, I'm sure I will now. I really liked it, and and then basically we have Boba again being smart and like kind of accepting the Tusken ways and whatever, and like he basically doesn't negotiate with the Spice Runners. Or the Pikes, yeah. And he's like, if you want to travel across these lands, you'll have to pay a toll because the Tuskens have ancestral right to use this territory. And yeah, it's really cool, and they decide, like, obviously the Pikes agree to it, and then they get a nice
he kind of does a fair sort of like, walk out into the desert and keep walking kind of thing. But he says, can you just get out of here? Here's some water. Go.
This will be enough water to survive. Take this and keep walking. Yeah.
It's Anchorhead.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And again, it shows that like Boba, he's not like some bloodthirsty like bounty hunter. Like he's a smart guy. He's gonna show like mercy when he can. And
and this it's definitely trying to show that Boba has leader-like qualities. Like he has the ability, he could be a leader.
Yeah, and it works really well. And then the Tuskens have like a big old party. They get the water from inside of the speeder bike and everything.
They do a wacky little dance.
Yeah, they do the dance, and then we get probably one of my favorite things where Boba, before he can be admitted into the tribe, he gets the LSD lizard inside of his brain.
Yeah.
And
that was funny. He's like, it will guide you from inside your head.
Yeah, and it's really fun, and he gets to have it's basically like a vision quest, and we have all these like cool flashbacks and everything, and like visions, and then it leads him to a branch, which then he brings back to the tribe, and they have this cool sequence where he forges it into a gaffy stick.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
And yeah, it was really cool, and then
you get to see like the wood part being made, and then like the little metal shaft being like stuck on it, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it was super, super cool, super fun to watch. And then they have a dance party. They have a super lit dance party.
They managed to like expand the Tusken lore without like like doing like the thing where it's like, oh, we're just doing the thing from the movies,
Yeah, it was really cool.
Movie callback.
And again, like I said earlier, it helps to humanize the Tuskens.
Yeah, they have a culture and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I really like that. And to get to the modern day, Fennec and Boba basically interrogate the assassin who he says was hired by the mayor of Mos Espa.
Oh yeah. They basically fake him out with the Rancor pit.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun because obviously we know like the Rancor's been dead, since Return of the Jedi. So, and obviously Bib Fortuna was too cheap to get another Rancor. So,
it was pretty good. And then from there, they go to the mayor's office, right?
Yeah, they go to the mayor's office, and I love they just like go straight past the Twi'lek, and they're like, no. And yeah, they go into the mayor's office, and it's really cool. He's an Ithorian.
Mm-hmm. With a translator.
Yeah, he's got like the translator on him, so that was really cool.
See his gross side mouth move when he's talking.
Yeah. And yeah, he basically he goes along and he is able to talk with the mayor and everything, and then the mayor's like, "Oh, well, I didn't."
The mayor just like shoots the dude. And he's like, "Hey, there, you got a bounty."
Yeah, good job.
And Boba's like, "I'm not a bounty hunter anymore." And the mayor's like, "Well, that's not what I heard." Good shit.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. And then he tells him,
But basically, the mayor says that the
he didn't send
Silent
us.
Wind were sent back.
Yeah, and he basically tells him to go visit the sanctuary again.
Right, yeah. And then he goes Sanctuary. What did they do there?
The main lady there basically just they have like a little discussion, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, the twins are laying claim to like your territory," and then, "Oh, by the way, they're here."
Boom.
Yeah, it was super, super cool. I really liked it. And then we have like
we get to see this awesome freaking Siamese twin of a hut.
Yeah, they're Jabba's cousins, and they're just known as like the twins. And they arrive, and they're carried in by like 12
like a giant litter.
Yeah, this giant litter, and they basically like have
it's like the litter that carries was it Xerxes and 300?
Mm-hmm.
So that giant, it basically looked just like that.
Yeah, and so they're there, and they basically have like a pissing contest with Boba, and they're like, "Oh, ho, ho, they want a wonga," and they basically,
this is our territory.
Yeah, this is our territory. Like, we get it because we're Jabba's cousins. And then Boba he's just like, "I killed Bib Fortuna, and he took over from Jabba, so therefore this is my planet.
I am rightfully Daimyo.
My Dune.
My Arrakis. My Dune.
My Tatooine. My Daimyo." But yeah, he basically just reiterates that, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then they bring out this Wookiee who is from canon. I guess his name's Black Krrsantan.
Black Krrsantan, something like that.
Yeah, Krrsantan. And yeah, he's a super badass looking. He looks like evil Chewbacca. He has like big, spiky shoulder pads, and he's got black fur. He looks super cool. Like again, the costume department, like he looks super cool. So
really, it looks really good. Yeah. Yeah. The twins looked really good too for just being like pure CGI.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I thought they looked really, really good.
Yeah, it was great. Great little scene there. And did anything else happen in the episode?
No, that's pretty much where it ends.
Wow.
Yeah, so episode 2 again, super, super good, and yeah, I really, really, really liked it.
So far, most of the interesting stuff has been happening in flashbacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the modern day stuff is just kind of just sort of just going along. There's not much happening.
Yeah, so yeah, basically
like, what's the plot? Boba Fett is on Tatooine now, and
he's basically just like establishing like his rule over Tatooine and everything. So
my main complaint would be that they don't really like. It just kind of seems like he's just kind of in charge of like 5 people,
Yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna build that up over time, especially with what happens after episode 3. So
like, shouldn't he have like informants coming to him? Stuff like that.
I'm sure they'll get to it. So
war guards, something like that.
They'll get to it, I'm sure. They're saving the budget.
Hopefully. And then so episode 3.
Episode 3, which I'm sure if you're a fan of Star Wars or Boba Fett at all, you are hearing about episode 3. So again, to go with flashbacks first. Basically, Boba visits the Pikes to get the tribute. And he finds out basically that his tribe was destroyed by the
you like skipped the whole thing.
Did I?
The Pikes basically tell him that they're not going to pay him tribute for the Dune Sea unless they get rid of that biker gang.
Oh, yeah.
That Union gang or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, we'll take care of it." And then immediately goes back to find all of them dead.
Yeah, they were killed. Yeah, by the Nikto gang, which I'm sure is going to be avenged. But yeah, basically that's all of the flashbacks we get. So. Yeah, and basically it starts out and Boba is asked by like a water seller to basically bring in a gang of like cyborg ne'er-do-well bikers that steal his water. And he basically tells Boba, he's like, "Oh yeah, nobody respects you yet at all, so."
Yeah, I liked the scene where he like hired the teenage gang people.
Oh, yeah,
Just to me, it made sense.
No, it was cool because, like you just said, like he should be in charge of more people. So he hires them on, and he basically tells the water seller, like, hey, reduce your prices or I'm gonna kick you in the dick.
Yeah.
And basically from
stuff,
there we go to the flashbacks. This is all cool so far. And then in his Bacta-Tang, he's attacked by Black Chrysanthemum. And
yeah, pretty much right after the flashback where like everyone's dead, gets attacked.
Yeah, and it's a super fun fight that involves like everybody. It involves Boba, Fennec, his Gamorreans, and the new cyborgs.
Slippery Boba Fett.
Yeah, slippery, like 3/4 naked Boba.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And
I liked the kids coming in to save Boba because, you know, like he hired them and they're like loyal to him now, I guess. Pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun. And essentially they did what they did in the first episode or the second episode and dropped the Wookiee down into the Rancor pit.
Yeah, but this time they just kind of put him in there to lock him in.
Yeah,
there.
he's just captured, and then eventually they just bring the twins come back, and then they have like an exchange, and they say, "Oh, we're totally sorry that we sent Black Chrysanthemum to kill you," and that
Black Chrysanthemum,
Black Cinnamon, and they basically say that I think it was the mayor basically promised Jabba's territory to another crime family. And the twins say they're going to leave and never ever come back, and they leave a gift for Boba, which was super fun. Like, everything up to this point is super great.
Oh, wait, hang on. Who did they say was the gang that was claiming the planet?
I don't think they said yet, because then they...
I feel like they did say it.
No, I think they just say that they left it to another, because then, after the thing that happens later, they reveal that the mayor is working with them. But it is eventually revealed it's the Pikes, but... From here, Jabba's gifted a Rancor, and the Rancor's handler is played by none other than Machete.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo. It was super fun, super awesome. We get like...
Because it's directed by Robert Rodriguez. Danny Trejo's been like in every one of his movies.
Yeah, it was super cool, super fun. I'm surprised at this point that Danny Trejo's never been in anything else Star Wars. So, it's cool to see him get in.
He was good as the tamer thing.
Yeah, it was fun. They get a little bit of.
I was thinking that the Rancor was gonna like attack Boba once its like eye things were off, like it was a trap. Nope, he's getting cuddly Rancor.
Yeah, cuddly Rancor and Boba. Boba wants.
I liked it. Honestly,
I want to ride it.
Yeah. Boba would want to ride it, and
exactly.
it fits in with his original premiere, which was the Star Wars Holiday Special cartoon, where he's riding like a giant lizard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was cool. I think that was the reference there. I've ridden bigger.
Oh, nice. That's fun. I love references to the holiday special, even though George Lucas obviously loathes it. So yeah, it's really fun. And then from here we have the.
I just at that point I was like, man, this show's awesome. You know, like Boba Fett, he's just like petting a Rancor. You know, I'm like, yeah, this is dope.
He's gonna ride a Rancor. It's super fun. It's really cool. Everything like. I think like we discussed earlier, like 90% of this episode was super good. It was good, and then
like everything leading up to this has pretty much been perfect for me.
Yeah, and then unfortunately,
at least as perfect as it could be within the confines of canon.
Yeah, and then basically from here we get to the thing that everybody hates because they go to try and find the mayor who's not there, but then they are gonna have a totally awesome. High budget.
Wait, the Major Domo was there, and they're gonna question him, but then he runs off.
And it's a totally amazing speeder bike chase, and it's super cool, and it looks not from like a fan film or anything.
Did you watch the same scene?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
The speeder that the Major Domo gets away in looks really cool. Like I thought
it looked really cool. I've seen people complaining that like the cyborgs. Like the speeder bikes they ride on, they're too bright and colorful. Well, that's the whole thing. They're supposed to be like a callback to like American Graffiti and like Hot Rods. Yeah. I thought that was fine. Like the look of them looked fun.
I really liked that as like an American Graffiti reference. I was like, okay.
And it's fun that not everything is gray. Like I
Yeah,
thought
not everything has to be shitty desert color.
Yeah, I've seen people like, oh, that should have those would look good on Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa, but not Tatooine. It's like, no, like that's their whole thing. Like that's their like aesthetic. Like they're bright and flashy.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fine.
Yeah, and saying they're like a cyberpunk gang and they would fit in more on Coruscant, it's like, it's Star Wars. Like they have, they have droid technology everywhere in Star Wars.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, everybody and their mom has a speeder. They're like Toyota
Right?
Camrys.
Anakin was like a little slave boy and he built his own fucking protocol droid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you don't think some street punks can get some implants and put droid arms on themselves?
Yeah, exactly. Like that is like the least of the thing. Like if you want to like, is it a little like weird that they are there? Like yeah, who cares? Like maybe they're from Coruscant. So I don't know. I thought it was fun. Like
another thing was like, why are they stealing water if they got like money for all this stuff? Well, the water was overpriced for one thing.
Yeah, it's
they said a month's wages for how much water?
Basically enough to like get by.
Yeah. Yeah. The design of the bikes is fine. I'm even okay with the kid characters or whatever.
Yeah, I thought they were fine.
You got Punk Chick.
Yeah,
fine.
Like I've seen people just like complaining up and down about that for no.
Or are they calling them Power Rangers and stuff?
Yeah, I never got that or anything. Like yeah, it's bright and flashy, but I'm fine with bright and flashy.
Like it's something if I had seen it in like a Star Wars comic book, like their speeders, I would have been like, oh, that's cool. Like there's 50s references in Star Wars, like Attack of the Clones. Shit. Who's the four-armed guy?
Dex. Yeah, he has a 1950s diner.
Yeah, with the 50s serving droid.
Yeah,
so
and
you can have different kinds of aesthetics.
Nobody cared about that at all. They're like, oh yeah, it's a diner. So it's the same thing. The thing that people should be complaining about is it looks like it's from like a college film.
Yeah, the speeder bikes chasing after the speeder. Holy shit! Like wow. For one thing, they look like they're going 5 miles an hour.
Like it looks like I could outrun those on foot.
Yeah, really, just underwhelming. Like the way it was directed. Like it was just it was all wrong.
Yeah, it's there are almost parts that like. There are parts in it that like oh you should play that off for laughs, like when he's trying to like wave the droid cart like out of the way, like yeah, that's supposed to be funny, but like when the action
I liked parts of it, right? Like a chase scene through like Mos Espa sounds fun,
yeah,
but just the way it was directed didn't work.
Yeah, they were very clearly trying to go from like the fun speeder bike chase or the speeder chase at the beginning of Solo, and they just failed. Like, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to watch. But, like, people are, like, hyper-focusing on it. Like, they're saying that, like, oh, this has ruined the show. Like, no, it's one thing in, like, a 7-episode show. Like, 90% of the show has been good. And just,
to me, this feels like the Ice Cave episode from Mando Season 2.
Exactly.
All over again. Everyone got so upset at that episode.
Yeah, and it's the same thing here. Like, everybody, they're just, like, poo-pooing on it just because... One, like we mentioned, like, it's just they're attacking the wrong thing. And two, it is just a bad chase scene. But...
Yeah, I would say just... Yeah, like, you can blame Robert Rodriguez for directing, like, doing bad directing there, because, yeah, it did not look good.
Yeah, and I'm sure...
Like, it was all blurry, like, around, like, the edges of it. It just looked... Ugh. It's not good.
Yeah, it wasn't super fun to watch, but eventually, like, they chase down the Major Domo, and he reveals that the mayor's working with the Pikes, and eventually the Pikes begin to arrive, and Boba's he's, like, gearing up to, like, defend his territory.
Yeah, and that's interesting to me, because now we're going to see, does Boba have a grudge against the Pikes for killing all his boys? Oh, I guess they didn't kill him, but, the Nikto did or whatever. I feel like they maybe had a hand in it.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, so that is our... overall, I've mentioned it I think 2 times. I think this show is like 90% great and like 10%... 10% is just the speeder. The speeder chase is just that bad.
Yeah, that one scene is so bad that it's making people just totally just call it quits on the show.
Yeah, as if this is the first ever TV show to have a bad episode. Or a bad thing in an episode. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's a TV show. Like, it's not... And the thing here is, it's not Breaking Bad. Like, it's not gonna be perfect. And yeah, it's a TV show. Every TV show ever has had bad scenes. Movies have bad scenes. I mean, God, like, people will bend over backwards to, like, defend Revenge of the Sith and just ignore, like, all the bad in that, versus this has, like, a 5-minute bad scene in a speeder chase, and people are, like, already writing off the series.
Yeah, it's not that there was anything like plot-wise that, like, you know, really messed with the story or anything. It's just a bad directed scene.
Yeah, it's just bad.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you could just describe the sequence instead. You know, like the punks got on their speeders and chased down, or their speeder bikes and chased down the speeder guy until he crashed. You know, describe that whole sequence. It's fine, right? But then you see it in the show, and it's awful.
Yeah, like, it looks worse than, like, the Return of the Jedi speeder bike chase on Endor.
Wow, yeah. Just the way, like, because the main thing is the bikes don't look like they're going fast, so it just makes the whole thing look stupid.
Yeah,
like, it looks like they're on, like, mopeds. I'm guessing they were actually riding around on, like, green screen mopeds or something.
Could have been.
And they, like, somehow, maybe they, like, Robert, like, put in, like, a CGI speeder for them to, like, go after. I am not sure how this was directed, but,
yeah, it
didn't look good.
It wasn't great, but, like, overall for the first 3 episodes, I'd say it's been really fun to watch. Like, I've enjoyed everything it's been doing. I will say,
yeah, besides that one scene that was bad, it's pretty much been just really good so far.
Yeah, I hope that they do more with, like, the modern day stuff and don't use as many flashbacks. I'm sure they still will, because Boba's got to, like, you know, tie that part of his life up, and we'll see it on screen. But, like, overall, like, I think the series has nowhere to go but up from here.
Yeah, maybe there'll be, like, one more flashback sequence to, like wrap things up. But yeah, they're probably pretty much done with that.
Yeah, well, what I think is going to happen is I think there's going to be maybe, like, the 4th or 5th, or probably the 5th or 6th episode. I would say they'll probably just do a whole thing in flashback, and then that'll be the end of flashbacks.
Maybe.
For the series. And I would kind of like that. Like, just have one episode dedicated to just tying up the flashback, and then have the rest dealing, like, with the Pikes on Tatooine.
Yeah, maybe. They might just keep it to half flashback, half, you know, modern day stuff.
And yeah, I'd be fine with either way, to be honest. Like, the flashbacks have been really good, so... I also kind of like with the flashbacks that, like, since Boba's going to have his helmet off for all of them, and obviously we're going to find out, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we had, like, a tie-in with, like, a Mando episode, like, see what Boba was doing, like, leading right up to that. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see that.
Well, in the Mando we see he was just walking around the desert.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like, when he gets his armor back, or, like, how he gets off planet to go get his armor back, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. How he gets to Tython.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Oh, okay.
Well, he has Slave 1, so how is he going to get Slave 1 back?
That's true. We still do need to see that. Yeah,
we do. But yeah. Overall, like, I think the series has been super fun so far. If you're, like, poo-pooing on episode 3 that bad, skip the 3-minute speeder bike chase and move on with your life.
You won't miss any story if you just fast forward to the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just, like, skip past that to the end, put it on fast forward, take that to go to the bathroom and get another thing of chips and salsa, and you'll be fine.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of the show should be like the same quality as before. Like, I don't think there's gonna be, like, a downward trend here or anything. Like, the rest of the show should be good.
Yeah, I know Bryce Dallas Howard, Dave Filoni, and Kevin Tcheron are gonna all have their own episode directed by them. Robert Rodriguez has had 2, and so I think it's gonna be kind of like Mando, where they swapped out the directors for each episode, and I think that's really been helping the TV shows a lot.
Okay, I thought Robert Rodriguez directed, like, the first 3 episodes.
No, he did 1 and 3, and then Steph Green did episode 2.
And so far, everything just written by Jon Favreau.
And yeah, everything has been written by Jon Favreau, but according to...
doing a really good job, I should say.
Yeah, Jon Favreau, like, with what he's been doing with, like, Mando and Boba Fett, he's been doing, like, a bang-up job. Like, he is just a good writer.
And he knows the stuff. He knows the universe.
Yeah, he knows the universe. He makes it all feel good. I would say probably best writer since like the original trilogy, as far as like media wise, like live action.
I mean, I don't think I didn't think the writing in Mandalorian was anything like amazing. I think I'm definitely preferring the writing of Boba Fett over it.
Yeah, I think Jon Favreau. I think he does emotional moments like really, really well. Like,
yeah. Also, he didn't write every episode of Mandalorian, but he wrote.
Oh, he didn't. I thought he wrote all of them. I'm definitely wrong.
No.
Oh, nice.
Like there was the Ahsoka episode, which was written and directed by Dave Filoni.
Oh, disgusting. Sorry, it's a Star Wars episode. I have to get my digs at Filoni, and I'd fight him.
Duly noted.
But yeah, so Cade versus Dave Filoni next week. Sunday. But yeah, overall, I think to kind of tie this up with a nice slow bow on top, watch Book of Boba Fett if you haven't.
Yep, if you're a Star Wars fan, Boba Fett fan, you got to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna kind of ask that at the beginning, but as a like childhood Boba Fett fan, like, where does this rank like with your Boba Fett fandom?
Well, what do you mean by that though?
Like, how does it stack up to like other Boba Fett media? Because I've never been a huge Boba Fett fan. I like when he shows up in things, but I'm not necessarily like a Boba Fett solo fan. I prefer Django.
He's definitely
to be
not
honest.
as good as like this Boba Fett definitely isn't as perfect as Legacy of the Force Boba Fett is.
Sure, and Legacy of the
Like that is like
Force
the
Boba
perfect
Fett's awesome.
version of the character for me. Oh, was that?
Oh, Legacy of the Force Boba Fett's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, what I did when I was just watching the first episode, I was like, at first I was like, oh, the lines sound kind of weird. I was like, you know what, just stop analyzing everything. Just let Boba talk. You know, he's going to talk. And it's definitely kind of the Disney-fied version of Boba Fett, but with the way it has been written, they did it right. Jon Favreau kind of almost rebooted Boba's character in a way.
Sure.
With the Sarlacc thing, using the Sarlacc as like the starting point, and then the Tuskens and all this leadership stuff. He's sort of rewriting Boba while also still staying true to the character, which I like.
Sure.
So I like that it's different.
Yeah, and
I like that it's different from anything I've read or seen before in Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think I said this off mic earlier, but whenever I watch like these new TV shows or even like the new movies, I just turn off the Legends like database in my brain. Like, I just want to enjoy this for what it is, and you don't necessarily need to compare it to what came before.
Yeah, it mostly just gives me, little extra jollies when I notice Legends stuff, like the, Tatooine having oceans before, the
Tuskens.
The gaffy stick thing was kind of added in, but I just liked, that felt right to me.
Yeah, it was cool, and I think overall it's been doing a super, super good job.
Yeah, I'm really satisfied with the series. So that one scene was kind of janky.
Yeah, but I mean,
and yeah, definitely excited to see the rest though. Hopefully, it just gets better.
Yeah, and I think it definitely will. But yeah, we will see you again to discuss Book of Boba Fett after the 6th episode is aired. But until then, this has been Cade from the Lore Council. If you've enjoyed this video or any other video that we've put out, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel and help us grow. So until then, I am signing off.
Yeah, if you need a podcast to listen to before you fall asleep, think the Lore Council. And later.